If someone had told me a wrong number would change my life, I would have shrugged it off as a coincidence. At 2:17 a.m., Lily lurched into her too-small apartment. The door clicked shut behind her, a period at the end of yet another disappointing day, yet again. October rain had thoroughly, relentlessly soaked her boots. Her coat smelled of cigarette smoke from customers she wasn't allowed to refuse. The ache in her lower back reminded her that maybe double shifts at the cafe weren't the long-term fix she pretended they were. She set her phone face down on the counter, tossed her keys into the overfull bowl by the sink, and let out a breath at last. Not a sigh, exactly, just an emptying, truly. She didn't cry. She never did. Instead, she peeled off wet socks, cooked instant ramen with hands trembling from exhaustion, and checked her phone out of habit again. And there it was. Her thumb hovered above the screen, rereading the text she'd drafted hours ago but never sent. The one meant for her ex. Her toxic, manipulative, emotionally unavailable ex who'd ghosted her 1 month ago like Lily had meant nothing. Her friends had begged her not to reach out, had practically staged an intervention, but heartbreak made you stupid or maybe just lonely. So, she hit send. Lily, I know you don't care. I know you're probably laughing, but I just wanted to say it anyway. I miss you. I hate that I do, but I do, and I wish I didn't. She stared at the message for a second after it was sent, waiting for the rush of regret. But what came instead was stillness, a cold, hollow kind of peace, like the moment after scream when there's nothing left to break. She placed the phone on the kitchen counter, turned off the overhead light, and went to bed. It buzzed 5 minutes later. Unknown number. You have the wrong number, but I don't think I've ever read something that raw at 2:30 in the morning. Are you okay? Lily blinked at the message, confused, mortified. Her heart immediately leapt into her throat as she realized she must have typed one digit wrong. Of course. Of course. She couldn't even send a drunk sad text properly. Lily. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I thought I was texting someone else. Please ignore that. There was a pause. The typing dots came and went. Then came the reply. Unknown number. I could, but I won't. I'm guessing tonight's been rough. Lily hesitated. She wasn't in the mood for small talk. And yet, there was something about the tone of the reply. It didn't feel invasive. It didn't feel pitying. It felt sincere. Lily. Yeah, just life. Too much of it all at once. Unknown number. I get that. Some nights it feels like the weight of existing is heavier than usual. Lily. Exactly. There was silence for a minute and Lily considered turning off her phone, but then another message. Unknown number. You don't know me, but if you want to talk, I'm here. No judgment. No expectations. It was irrational, completely insane. But she responded, Lily, why would you do that? Talk to a stranger at 2:30 a.m. Unknown number. Maybe I'm a stranger who needs a distraction as much as you do. Lily felt something strange twist in her chest. Curiosity and something warmer. She couldn't explain why, but she kept going. Lily. Okay, then. What's your name? Unknown number. Call me out Lily. Mysterious. I like it. Yellowy. And you? Lily. Lily. Not mysterious at all. Yellowy. I disagree. You're a girl who sends soul-bearing texts to strangers in the middle of the night. That's at least a little mysterious. Lily found herself smiling. A real smile. The first in weeks. Lily. Okay. If we're doing this, tell me something real about you. No lies. Why something real? Okay. I'm very rich. Like absurdly rich. Lililo. What does that even mean? Yellow. It means I own a jet, a vineyard, and possibly a small island, though I have to double-check the paperwork. Lily, right? And I'm a mermaid who lives under a 7-Eleven. Yellowy, nice to meet you. Lily the mermaid. Lily, nice to meet you, too. Sophia the delusional. She didn't know why, but she liked this. The banter, the easy rhythm of it. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel performative. It felt like air after being underwater too long. Lily curled into her blanket, forgetting the cold ramen on the counter. They kept texting for hours about everything and nothing, about music and childhood and dreams they didn't admit to anyone else. Sophia was smart, witty, a little guarded, but kind. There was something in her words that felt grounded, stable, and God. Lily had been craving stability. As the sky began to lighten and Lily's eyes grew heavy, one last message arrived. Yellowy, get some sleep. Lily, you deserve better days. Lily, thanks for not ignoring me. Yellowy, thanks for messaging the wrong number. Lily fell asleep with the phone in her hand and a strange feeling in her chest. Not hope, not yet, but something like it. She didn't know that Sophia, sitting in a penthouse suite in New Avalon, her reflection in the floor-to-ceiling windows fractured by city lights, hadn't talked to someone like this in years. She also didn't know that Sophia hadn't used a personal phone in months. That this one had been a burner, a temporary line she'd almost thrown away. Almost. Sophia wouldn't delete the number. Not now. Not after Lily. Lily didn't expect her phone to buzz again the next day. She chalked it up to a one-night thing, a strange, fleeting moment of vulnerability with a stranger she'd never meet. A digital shooting star. Something too weird and soft to survive the light of day. But there it was. At 10:42 a.m., while she was halfway through refilling the sugar dispensers at work, a notification lit up on her screen. Yellow, do mermaids drink coffee, or is it all cedar and regret down there? Lily couldn't stop the laugh that broke out of her, loud, genuine, drawing a confused glance from her manager across the cafe. She quickly typed back, Lily, mainly regret, but I make exceptions on Thursdays. Yellowy, that's oddly specific. I like it. Lily, what's a billionaire doing texting strangers on a Thursday morning? Don't you have yachts to polish? Yell. I outsource the polishing. I'm at a board meeting, pretending to care, texting you under the table. Lily, you're ridiculous. Yellowy, you're smiling though. Lily didn't reply to that right away, but Sophia wasn't wrong. She was smiling. For the rest of her shift, Lily felt the buzz of that message like a thread tugging under her skin. It made no sense. She didn't even know what looked like. For all she knew, Sophia was a 40-year-old catfish living in a basement in Wisconsin. But something about her felt real, and Lily didn't have much real in her life lately. That night, they texted again and again the night after that. It became a rhythm. Not constant, but consistent. A slow-growing ritual that Lily didn't want to admit she'd started craving. They talked about everything. Their childhoods. How Sophia used to sneak onto her father's sailboat just to be alone. How Lily used to hide in the school library to avoid bullies. Sophia confessed she didn't sleep much. Lily confessed she sometimes wished she could disappear for a while just to see if anyone would notice. Sophia always noticed and responded like Lily's silences were just as important as her words. A week later, Lily finally asked Lily. Okay, so are you actually rich or was that sarcasm I didn't pick up on? Yell. Would it change anything if I said yes? Lily, it might make me more curious. Yell. Then yes, not sarcasm. Lily, prove it. I'll send a photo. A blurry snapshot of a huge sunlit room, all glass walls and pale furniture. And a view that looked down over Central Park. A woman's silhouette stood by the window. Dark and elegant, her phone held loosely in one hand. Lily, is that your house? Yell. Penthouse technically. And yes, Lily. Holy yell. Still want to talk to me, mermaid? Lily? Yeah, maybe even more now. And that was the truth. Lily didn't understand it, but the idea that Sophia was living this extravagant, untouchable life and still choosing to text her made her heart race in a way she wasn't ready to analyze. The next night, Sophia asked a question that shifted the air between them. Yelly, what would you do if money wasn't a problem? Lily stared at the screen. So many things rushed into her head. At once, it hurt. Lily. I'd get my own place somewhere quiet. I'd quit the cafe, maybe study photography again. I used to love it, but it felt selfish. Yellowy, want to know what I'd do? Lily, tell me. Yellowy, I'd vanish for a bit, slip someplace no one would think to look. Not as Elle Worthington. Eyes, just a woman in a hoodie and sunglasses, blending in. Lily paused. Something slotted into place. Lily, wait. S. Worthington, as in the Worthington Group? Yell. Yes. Lily. You're that Elle? Yell. I hoped you wouldn't recognize the name. Lily's head spun. S. Worthington. Billionaire. Tech empire. Tabloid whispers. Paparazzi. Not a catfish in Wisconsin. A household name, a public mystery, and Lily had been texting her like she was just some random stranger who liked coffee and sarcasm. Lily, I don't know what to say. Yellow, please don't treat me differently now. Lily, why me? You could talk to anyone, supermodels, actresses. Yellow, but none of them accidentally texted me when they were heartbroken. None of them were you. Lily bit her lip, chest tightening. There it was again, that dangerous, warm flicker. Yellowy. Besides, it isn't about who I could talk to. It's about who makes me want to keep talking. Lily, you're going to ruin me if you keep saying things like that. Yell. Maybe I want to. The gap between messages stretched thin. Lily stared at the screen like she could will her into appearing through it. And then, Lily. What if we talked in person? There it was. Sent. Too fast. Too bold. Her heart sprinted. The dots danced. Yellowy. Say when. Lily hadn't expected Sophia to say yes that easily. She'd braced for hesitation. A polite excuse. A brush-off wrapped in charm. But Sophia answered without a pause, with a steadiness that settled low in Lily's chest and made her feel like this, whatever this was, wasn't just a game. It was something Sophia wanted too. Say when, she'd said, 2 words that haunted Lily for 3 days, because now it was real. Now she had to decide if she was brave enough to cross the line between fantasy and reality. Sophia Worthington wasn't just a voice in the night anymore. She was a living, breathing woman with power, presence, and a name that held weight in rooms Lily would never be allowed to enter. And Lily, she was just her, a barista, a girl with overdue bills and dreams she hadn't dared say out loud in years. But still, Sophia wanted to meet. And Lily couldn't stop imagining what that moment would feel like. So, she chose the most neutral answer possible. Lily Saturday. Yell. I'm free. Name the place. Lily bit her lip, staring at her phone like it might explode. Lily, there's a little coffee shop in Silk Row. Quiet. Nobody goes there but me and a couple of grumpy writers. It's not exactly glamorous, why-sify it Ellie? Perfect. Send the address. Lily sent it. Hands shaking, heart slamming against her ribs like it wanted out. All week she tried to prepare herself. She imagined Sophia walking through the door, tall, polished, powerful, and what Lily would say. How she'd act cool, unbothered, not like a girl meeting a billionaire she accidentally fell for through a text thread, but nothing could have prepared her for the moment the door actually opened. It was Saturday, 2:04 p.m. The cafe was nearly empty. A soft drizzle outside muted the city noise. Lily sat in the corner booth with 2 coffees already on the table, one black, one with oat milk because Elle had mentioned both in passing during their endless late-night texts. And then she appeared Elle in person, dark jeans, black turtleneck, a trench coat tied at the waist, sunglasses. She slipped off slowly as her eyes scanned the cafe and locked on Lily. She didn't look like a billionaire. She looked like a storm dressed in elegance. Controlled still, but the energy around her crackled. Lily stood too quickly, knocking her knee against the table. Sorry. Sophia smiled. Hi, mermaid. Her voice was softer in person. Deeper, like honey warmed over fire. Lily's throat went dry. I wasn't sure you'd actually come. I wasn't sure you'd actually be real. Sophia's gaze moved over her, not in a rude or lingering way, but with intensity, like she was cataloging every detail. Lily's oversized sweater, her chipped nail polish, the nervous way she held the edge of her sleeve. They sat. Hey, if you're enjoying this story, go ahead and drop a like to help us grow even more. And let me know in the comments on a scale from 0 to 10, what score would you give this story so far? Your feedback makes all the difference. Silence stretched for a beat too long until Lily blurted, okay, so this is weird, right? I mean, like, good weird, but still weird. Sophia chuckled, leaning back slightly. We met through a breakup text sent to the wrong number. I think weird is our baseline. Lily laughed, her shoulders relaxing. You're different in person. Disappointed. No, worse. Intrigued, Sophia's mouth curved. Good. For a while, they just talked about nothing and everything. Lily found herself leaning forward more than she meant to, her fingers brushing the side of her cup just to keep them occupied. Sophia's eyes never left hers for long. It wasn't like anything Lily had known. There were no pretenses, no masks, just a growing heat under the surface, a slow pull between them that felt magnetic and dangerous. So, Sophia said, stirring her untouched coffee. Tell me the real reason you agreed to meet me. Lily's breath caught. You really want the truth? Always. Because I couldn't stop thinking about you. And I didn't want this to be just a voice in the dark anymore. Sophia looked at her like the answer mattered more than she'd admit. That's the best reason I've heard all year. The cafe grew quieter. Outside, the rain picked up. Inside, the tension thickened. Lily watched Lee closely, how her fingers moved, how her lips curved at certain words, how her voice dipped when she asked questions that felt like they touched more than just skin. "Can I ask you something?" Lily said, "Of course." "Why me?" "I mean, you could talk to anyone, be with anyone. Why keep texting a girl like me?" Sophia didn't answer right away. She looked out the window, then back at Lily with something raw in her eyes. "Because with you, I don't have to be anything except human, and I don't get that very often." Lily didn't know what to say. So, she didn't. She reached across the table slowly, deliberately, and placed her hand over Sophia's. Warmth, real, solid, electric. Elle didn't pull away. Instead, she turned her palm and laced their fingers together. "So now what?" Lily whispered. Sophia's voice was quiet but steady. "Now we see what happens when fantasy steps into reality." They stayed there for hours. The world outside faded. Nothing mattered except the space between them. The way their knees brushed under the table. The way Lily's breath hitched every time Sophia looked at her like she was something rare. When Sophia finally stood to leave, she paused at the door. "Can I see you again?" Lily didn't hesitate. "Yes." Sophia nodded once, eyes unreadable but intense. "Good. I'll call you." Lily watched her disappear into the rain, her heart pounding so hard she thought it might bruise. She had no idea what she just started. But she knew it mattered. She knew it meant trouble. And she knew she'd never be able to go back to silence again. Lily couldn't focus. Not at work, not at home, not anywhere really. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Elle. The way her fingers curled around the coffee cup, the sharp assessing glint in her eyes, softened only by the ghost of a smile. The feel of her hand over Ace, steady, warm, deliberate. She'd never met anyone like Elle. And even though they'd only had one real conversation in person, Lily felt like something irreversible had happened. Something unspoken had shifted. Sophia had said she'd call, but she hadn't. Not the next day, not the day after that. And Lily tried to act like she wasn't counting the hours, the minutes, like she wasn't reading too much into the silence. But by day 4, her stomach twisted every time her phone buzzed. And it was an Elle. She told herself not to expect anything. That Elle's life was different, unreachable, that their meeting had probably been nothing more than a curiosity, a detour in a billionaire's busy schedule. But then on the 5th night, just past midnight, her phone lit up. "Yelly, I'm outside." Lily sat bolt upright on her bed. Heart jackhammering. She ran to the window and pulled the curtain aside. And there it was, a sleek black car parked beneath the flickering streetlight. A driver in a suit and Elle standing on the sidewalk in a long dark coat, umbrella in one hand, eyes already locked on Lily's window. No explanation, no warning, just Elle. Lily didn't hesitate. She threw on the first sweater she could find, shoved her feet into boots, and flew down the stairs so fast she nearly tripped twice. When she opened the building's front door, the cold night air hit her like a slap, but Sophia's voice was warmer than anything. "Hey, mermaid." Lily exhaled breathless. "You really know how to make an entrance." "I was going to text first," Sophia said, stepping closer, "but I didn't want to give you the chance to say no." "Why would I say no?" "Because I've been quiet and you're smart enough not to wait around for people who disappear." Lily's lips parted. "You didn't disappear, didn't I? You showed up. That's all I care about right now." Sophia studied her. "I couldn't stop thinking about you." "Then why did you go silent?" Elle hesitated. For the first time, she looked almost unsure. "Because I felt like I was falling. And I didn't know what that meant yet." Lily stepped forward. "And now I'm still falling, but I'm not afraid of it." Lily's breath caught. The space between them was practically humming. Then Sophia tilted her head toward the car. "Come with me." "Where?" "Anywhere. Somewhere quiet." Lily hesitated. Not because she didn't want to, but because this was fast. Because this was Elle Worthington. Because she'd never been whisked away into the night by someone who made her feel like she was being rewritten just by being looked at. But she nodded. "Okay." The drive was silent at first. Lily sat beside Elle in the back seat, their hands not touching, but impossibly close. The tension was unbearable. Every glance, every breath. Finally, Sophia said, "I don't do this." "Do what?" "This." Show up outside someone's building. Want someone I barely know like this? I don't do it. I don't trust easily and I definitely don't crave anyone. Lily turned to her. But you crave me. Sophia's jaw clenched. Yes. Lily reached out slowly, her fingers brushing Sophia's. I don't trust easily either, and I don't fall fast, but here we are. Elle intertwined their fingers. Here we are. The car stopped in front of a hotel Lily could never afford, even in her wildest dreams. Sophia led her through a private entrance, past discreet staff who bowed without a word, and into an elevator that went straight to the top floor, the penthouse. When the doors opened, Lily stepped into a space that didn't feel real. Floor-to-ceiling windows, art that belonged in museums, a fireplace already lit, and a view of New Avalon that looked like it had been painted just for her. Jesus, Lily whispered. Sophia chuckled. Intimidated, overwhelmed. Want to leave? Not even a little. Sophia walked past her, taking off her coat, revealing a simple black shirt and tailored pants beneath. Nothing flashy, just elegant, powerful, effortless. Lily turned toward the window, hugging herself. You live here? No. I come here when I want to be alone. And you brought me? Elle stepped behind her, voice low. I didn't want to be alone tonight. Lily turned slowly. They stood face to face, the air between them thick, electric. Tell me what you're thinking, Sophia whispered. I'm thinking if you don't kiss me right now, I'm going to combust. Elle didn't smile. She just stepped forward, closing the space between them, and kissed her. No hesitation, no question, just lips against lips, firm and searching like she'd been waiting too long and couldn't hold back anymore. Lily melted into her, hands gripping Sophia's waist, body pressed tight, and the kiss deepened. Slow at first, then hungry, needy, like every moment of silence between them had built to this. When they finally broke apart, Lily was breathless. That was everything I needed, Sophia finished for her. They stood like that, forehead to forehead, hearts racing in sync. Lily had no idea what this was turning into. She didn't care. All she knew was that nothing in her life had ever felt this right or this dangerous. Lily had kissed before. She had felt desire before, but nothing in her life compared to the way Sophia's hands held her like she was something fragile and burning at the same time. It wasn't just a kiss. It was a shift in the air, like gravity had reoriented around this exact moment. When they finally pulled apart, Lily didn't move. Her breath was shallow. Her pulse erratic and her fingers were still curled in the fabric of Sophia's shirt like she didn't know how to let go. Sophia's voice was low, almost a murmur. I shouldn't want you like this. Lily swallowed. But you do. Sophia nodded slowly, deliberately. I do. Lily let her hands fall away, but only because she needed to breathe. Think, steady herself before she collapsed from the weight of whatever had just passed between them. She stepped back, her eyes never leaving Sophia's. I didn't come here expecting this. Neither did I, Sophia said, watching her with an intensity that felt almost unfair. But I don't regret it. Lily turned away, walking toward the windows, needing space. She stared out at the lights of the city, the way they flickered and pulsed like a living organism beneath them. Behind her, Sophia didn't move. The silence stretched, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was heavy, charged. Lily finally spoke. I'm not used to things like this. Like what? Being wanted without a price. Being invited into a world like this without strings attached. Sophia's voice was softer. Now there are no strings, Lily. That's easy for you to say. You live in a world where people probably say yes to you just because they're afraid to say no. Sophia stepped closer, but she didn't touch her. Do I scare you? Lily turned her head, meeting her eyes. Yes, but not in the way you think. You scare me because I could fall for you, and I'm not sure I'd survive that. Sophia's expression faltered for the first time. Her confidence flickered. You're not the only one scared. Lily didn't know what to do with that. Didn't know what to do with the vulnerability in Sophia's voice or the ache forming in her chest. She wasn't supposed to be here in this glass palace talking about falling in love with someone whose life couldn't have been more different from hers. And yet here she was. Can I show you something? Sophia asked. Lily nodded. Sophia walked to a drawer, pulled out a small remote, and pressed a button. A panel in the wall opened slowly, revealing a sleek hidden door. What is that? Lily asked. Sophia didn't answer. She just gave her a look, an invitation, and Lily followed. The room they entered was nothing like the rest of the penthouse. No art, no marble, no views, just soft lighting, shelves full of books, and a piano in the corner. A sanctuary. Sophia sat on the bench, fingers hovering above the keys. I don't let anyone in here. Lily's heart skipped. Why me? Because you make me feel like a person, not a product. Sophia played quietly at first. A slow, mournful melody that curled around Lily's ribs and settled beneath her skin. She sat on the floor beside the piano, legs crossed, listening like it was a confession. The music was haunting, beautiful, raw. Lily closed her eyes, letting it pull her under. When the final note echoed into silence, she opened them again and found Latch watching her. That was Lily's voice cracked. You don't have to explain it, Elle said nothing. She set her hands in her lap, suddenly small in a room she owned. Lily stood, crossed the space slowly. I don't want to be a momentary escape for you, she said quietly. I've been that before. I'm not doing it again. Sophia's jaw tightened. You're not. I've never let anyone in like this. You think this is casual? I don't know what this is. Neither do I. But it's not casual. Lily reached out, brushing her fingers along Sophia's cheek. Then don't shut me out again. Elle turned into the touch. I won't. They stood like that, not touching, not speaking, just breathing in each other's space. The intimacy was louder than any kiss. And then Sophia whispered, stay. Lily's heart pounded. Tonight? Yes. Lily hesitated for only a moment. Then she nodded. Okay. Sophia showed her the guest room despite Lily teasing her that billionaires didn't usually offer guest beds to women they kissed. I want to do this right, Sophia said. You're worth slowing down for. Lily's breath hitched. She slipped into the oversized t-shirt Sophia had given her, something soft and worn that smelled faintly of her perfume, and lay back on the giant bed. Staring at the ceiling, trying to understand how her life had turned inside out so fast. In the room across the hall, I lay awake too, eyes on the ceiling, wondering how someone had slipped past every wall she'd ever built. That night, neither of them slept much. Not from discomfort, but because some part of both of them knew that once they crossed that line, there would be no turning back. Lily woke slowly, the kind of waking where your mind refuses to accept the dream has ended. For an instant, she forgot where she was. The ceiling was too high, the sheets too soft, the silence too complete. Then it all returned. Elle, the kiss. The piano. The way her voice had dipped when she whispered, stay. She sat up. The oversized t-shirt sliding off one shoulder. And padded barefoot across the plush carpet into the hallway, unsure what she expected to find. The penthouse was hushed, still holding that unreal quiet that seemed native to Sophia's world. But the smell of coffee, real coffee, not the burnt drip from the cafe, guided her to the open kitchen, where she stood barefoot, in gray silk pajama pants and a matching robe loosely tied at the waist. Her hair was a little mussed, her eyes still half-lidded with sleep, and she looked devastating. She always looked devastating. Lily stopped for a heartbeat, watching her pour 2 cups without even glancing up. I heard you get up, Sophia said without turning around. Good morning. Lily smiled. You make coffee for all the girls you kiss. Sophia turned, 2 mugs in hand, and raised a brow. Only the ones who don't run after. Lucky me. Sophia handed her a mug. Their fingers brushed, and Lily felt it again. That spark, that slow, growing burn that never seemed to settle between them. They sat on the couch, knees brushing, silence stretching in that comfortable way that didn't demand to be filled. Finally, Lily spoke. Do you always bring people here? Sophia shook her head. Never. So why me? Sophia looked at her, and something in her gaze was bare. Unprotected. Because you saw me before you knew who I was, and you still wanted more. Aa's throat tightened. She sipped her coffee to hide the fact that her hands were shaking. I didn't expect any of this. Neither did I, Sophia said softly. But I'm not walking away from it. Lily studied her for a long time. Are you sure? No, Sophia smiled faintly. But I'm willing to find out. The rest of the morning passed in a haze of soft laughter, quiet moments, and stolen glances. Lily kept catching herself watching Elle, how she moved, how she spoke, how she existed so effortlessly in a space Lily would never belong to. And yet Sophia looked at her like she was the one who didn't quite fit in. Come with me, Sophia said around noon, grabbing her keys. Where? It's a surprise. Are you always this vague? Only when I'm nervous. Lily blinked. You're nervous? Sophia gave her a sideways glance. Terrified. They took Sophia's car, a sleek black electric model Lily didn't even know the name of, through the city, past neighborhoods Lily had only ever seen on postcards. Eventually, they reached the edge of New Avalon where Elle pulled into a private hangar. A's eyes widened. Wait, this isn't a surprise. This is a kidnapping. Led. Relax. We're not going far. Where? Looked over at her. Serious now. I know this is fast, but I want you to come just for the day. Lily hesitated. Her heart was pounding. Her logical brain was screaming, but her body was already saying yes. Where are we going? My vineyard. Lily blinked. Of course, because everyone has a vineyard. Sophia grinned. You'll love it. The plane was small, sleek, and private. The flight barely an hour. Lily spent most of it staring out the window, her thoughts spinning. When they landed, the air was different. Crisp, clean, heavy with a scent of pine and lavender. The estate was straight out of a dream. Rolling hills, neatly trimmed vines, a stone house that looked like it had been imported from Castellan. Okay, Lily said, stepping out of the car that picked them up from the airstrip. You win. This is insane. Sophia watched her with quiet satisfaction. Come on, I want to show you something. They walked through the vineyard, the sun hanging low in the sky. Sophia pointed out vines she'd planted herself. Talked about wine like it was poetry. Lily was entranced, not just by the place, but by seeing Sophia in it. Grounded. Calm, happy. This is your real escape, isn't it? Lily asked. Sophia nodded. It's the only place I ever feel like I can breathe. They stopped under a tree overlooking the entire valley. Lily turned to her. You brought me here for a reason. I did. Sophia stepped closer. I wanted to see how it felt to have you in my space. My real space. Lily's breath hitched and Sophia brushed a strand of hair behind Lily's ear, her voice barely audible. It feels like I've been waiting a long time for this. Lily didn't say anything. She didn't need to. She leaned in and kissed her soft, slow, deeper than before. A kiss that tasted like sunlight and risk. Sophia wrapped her arms around her, pulling her close. And for a moment, Lily let herself forget everything, the distance, the doubts, the world outside of this moment. They stayed like that until the sun dipped behind the hills, casting everything in gold. When they finally pulled apart, Sophia whispered, "Stay the night." Lily met her eyes. In your vineyard, in my bed. Lily's heart flipped. I thought you wanted to take it slow. I do, Sophia said. But I also want you, and I trust you to tell me when to stop. Lily didn't look away. Then don't stop. That night, the vineyard was silent. The stars watched quietly as two women who should never have met found something in each other they didn't know they'd been searching for. And neither of them wanted to let go. Lily didn't know how to exist in the morning after. She lay in Sophia's bed, white sheets, soft pillows, the faint scent of lavender and skin, and stared at the ceiling like it might offer answers to all the questions rising inside her. The night before hadn't been rushed. It hadn't been wild or messy. It had been reverent, quiet, and consuming in a way that left her breathless. Sophia had touched her like she was precious, like she was wanted, not just desired. And now, with sunlight slipping through the sheer curtains and birds singing in the distance, Lily felt the weight of what they'd done settle between her ribs like heat. She rolled over slowly. Sophia wasn't there, but the sheets on the other side were warm, lived in, touched. Lily sat up and wrapped the sheet around her body, patting across the stone floor toward the sound of music and a faint floral breeze. She found Elle outside on the terrace, barefoot, robe loosely tied, holding 2 mugs of coffee. Her hair was a soft mess, lips parted slightly, eyes lost in the view of her own vineyard. I was hoping you'd wake up before the coffee got cold, Sophia said without turning around. Lily stepped closer, heart tugging at the quiet intimacy of it. You always this prepared? Only when I care. Sophia finally looked at her, and there was something so unguarded in her eyes that it made Lily's stomach twist. She accepted the mug, fingers brushing, and they stood side by side, looking out over the vines, the hills bathed in morning gold. Last night was, Lily began, but the words failed her. Sophia nodded. Yeah. Lily turned to her. I don't want it to be something we pretend didn't happen. Neither do I. I'll set her coffee down and faced her fully, but I also don't want it to be something we ruin by rushing. Then we don't rush. Lily reached out, touching Sophia's wrist. We feel this, whatever this is. Sophia's lips curled, a soft private smile. I like the way you say this. Like I don't know what the hell we're doing exactly. They stood there until the breeze grew cool and Lily eventually went inside to shower. Everything about the space screamed money. Custom products, marble counters, soft towels that probably cost more than her rent, but it didn't intimidate her the way it had at first. Not now. Not after Elle had stripped away every wall between them with her hands and her mouth and her voice in the dark whispering, "You're safe. You're seen. Stay with me." Later, as they sat on a blanket under a tree with a small basket of cheese, fruit, and fresh bread, Lily asked the question that had been clawing at the back of her mind. What happens when we go back to the city? Sophia didn't answer right away. She stared out over the hills, her fingers absently brushing Lily's knee. Honestly, I don't know. You said you don't trust people easily. I don't. So, what are we doing? Sophia met her gaze. I'm trying. Isn't that enough for now? Lily nodded slowly. It was more than she'd expected. More than she dared to hope for. But something in her still tensed. A voice in her head whispering that things this good don't last. That fairy tales end when the dreamer wakes up. By the time they flew back to New Avalon that night, the mood had shifted slightly. Elle was quieter. Lily tried to pretend she didn't notice. She didn't ask questions she didn't want honest answers to. But when Sophia dropped her off outside her apartment instead of asking her to stay another night, the silence in the car was suffocating. You okay? Lily asked gently. Sophia forced a smile. Of course, just tired. Lily leaned in, kissed her softly once, twice, and whispered, "Call me tomorrow." Sophia nodded, but Lily saw it. The hesitation, the flicker of something guarded returning to her eyes. Lily didn't press. She stepped out of the car, watched it disappear down the street, and stood there in the cold night air, arms wrapped around herself, heart already aching with questions. The next day, Sophia didn't call, nor the day after that, or the next. Lily tried not to spiral, tried not to check her phone every hour. Sherry played their night at the vineyard like a movie she wasn't sure had ever actually existed. Maybe it was all too much. Maybe Sophia had panicked. Maybe she decided Lily was too complicated, too different, too real. On the fourth day, Lily broke. Lily, I know you're busy. I know you don't owe me anything, but you said you didn't want to pretend it didn't happen. So why are you pretending now? No reply. Hours passed. Lily sat at work trying not to cry into someone's cappuccino. Then finally, her phone buzzed. Yellowy, can you meet me tonight? My place. 9 p.m. Lily stared at the screen. Her stomach dropped. Her chest tightened. Her first instinct was to say yes without thinking, but the silence had cracked something, and she didn't know if she could pretend it hadn't. Lily, I'll be there. She took a cab. She didn't dress up. She didn't rehearse what she'd say. She just showed up, heart pounding, unsure whether she was walking into a continuation or a goodbye. Sophia opened the door barefoot in dark jeans and a sweater that hung too perfectly on her frame. Her eyes were tired. Her hair was pulled back. She looked like someone who hadn't slept in days. Hi, she said. Hi. Lily stepped inside. Sophia closed the door. The silence was thick. Lily crossed her arms. You disappeared. I know. Don't do that to me. Sophia's voice cracked. I didn't know how to do this. I thought I could keep it casual, but I can't. I didn't expect to feel anything like this. And I panicked. Lily's heart throbbed. You could have said that. I was scared you'd walk away. I almost did. Sophia stepped forward. But you didn't. Lily shook her head. I didn't. Alel took her face in both hands, her touch trembling. I don't want to lose this. Then stop pulling away. I'm trying. I swear I'm trying. Lily closed the distance between them. Let me help you. And in that moment, something cracked open again. Not like the first time, not like the vineyard. This was raw, messier, more real. They held each other like people afraid of drowning. Like they knew love didn't come with guarantees, but maybe, just maybe, it was worth the risk anyway. Lily didn't sleep that night. Not because Sophia held her too tightly, or because the city buzzed outside the windows of that impossibly high penthouse, but because the ache inside her refused to settle. Sophia had cried in her arms. Not sobbed, not loudly, but the quiet kind of crying that broke Lily more than she wanted to admit. It hadn't been about a single fear. It had been about all of them. About Sophia's life not having space for real connection. About always being wanted for the wrong reasons. About never knowing if love was love or just the illusion of it wrapped in attraction and power. Lily had kissed her forehead and whispered, "I'm not here for your name. I'm here for you." But even as she held Elle through the night, even as their bodies fit together in that quiet, aching way that only comes after confession, Lily couldn't ignore the small voice inside her that asked, "How long until she pulls away again?" In the morning, Sophia was different, not cold, not distant, just quiet. Her touches were softer, her eyes unreadable. She made Lily breakfast, fresh fruit, eggs, coffee, like a ritual. But there was a tension there, a thread pulled tight beneath every movement. Lily didn't ask. She just smiled. I'll let the silence speak instead. But as she got dressed and packed up her things, Sophia lingered in the doorway of the bedroom, watching her with a look Lily couldn't name. "You don't have to leave yet," Sophia said. Lily met her gaze. "Do you want me to stay?" Sophia hesitated just long enough. "I don't know what I want right now." And there it was. The truth. Sharp and sudden. Lily swallowed the sting. Nodded. "Okay, Lily. It's fine." Lily zipped her bag. "You're allowed to feel what you feel. Just tell me when you figure it out." Sophia didn't stop her. Didn't pull her in. Didn't kiss her goodbye. Lily walked out of the penthouse feeling smaller than she had in months. And this time, she didn't look back. 3 days passed. No texts, no calls. Lily tried to throw herself into work, into distraction, but nothing helped. Sophia had cracked something open in her, and now it was impossible to close. The coffee tasted bitter. The city felt colder, and Lily's chest acted like it had been left open too long. Her friends noticed, of course. Jenna, her roommate, gave her the kind of side eyes that said, "I told you so," without saying it. "You shouldn't have gone there," she said one night, handing Lily a glass of wine. "You let yourself get attached to a fantasy." Lily didn't fight her, didn't argue, just sipped the wine and stared at the wall and wondered if maybe Mia was right. And then came the headline, "Elle Worthington, heiress to the Worthington Empire, spotted at gala with ex-fiancé PR maven Vivian Cole." The photo was everywhere. Elle in a fitted midnight blue dress. Harper's hand on her back. Both of them caught mid-laugh as they stepped into a waiting car. Lily stared at the screen like it might morph into something else if she just blinked hard enough. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just sat there. Silent, cold, empty. The phone buzzed. Jenna again. "Are you seeing this?" Lily turned off her phone. The days after that were slow, numb. Lily moved through them like a ghost. Haunted by a kiss under a vineyard tree and the way Sophia's voice had cracked when she said, "I'm trying." Clearly not hard enough until Friday night when her phone buzzed again. "Yell, I need to explain. Please." Lily stared at the message for a long time. Her thumb hovered over the screen. Then she typed, "Lily, you owe me more than a text." Yellowy, I know. I'm outside. Lily's heart stopped. She ran to the window and there Sophia was again standing in the street, dressed in all black, hair pulled back, eyes fixed on Lily's window like nothing else in the world existed. Lily didn't move, didn't open the door. She waited, made Sophia ring the bell. When she finally did, Lily opened the door and stared at her like she was someone she didn't recognize anymore. "You lied to me." Elle's voice was low. "I didn't. You were at a gala with your ex." "It wasn't like that." "It looked exactly like that." Elle stepped in, closing the space between them. "It was a PR setup. My father's team arranged it. He's pushing a merger that Harper's firm is tied to, and they wanted optics. He wanted cameras to catch something that read as strategic, nothing personal." Lily folded her arms. "And you couldn't warn me? Prepare me? I didn't think it would explode like this." "You vanished, Elle, again. And the next thing I see is you on the arm of someone you used to love." Sophia's voice caught. "I don't love her, but you didn't choose me either." Silence, long, brutal, the kind that drags across the floor and swallows breath. It pressed in on both of them. Elle moved closer. "I'm trying to choose you. I just don't know how to do that in a world where everyone's watching, where every motion becomes a headline. You don't know what that's like." Lily stared, tears burning. "Then let me in. Stop locking me out whenever things get messy. I'm scared I'll ruin it." "You are ruining it." Sophia's chest rose and fell hard. "Please don't leave." Lily shook her head. I don't want to, but I won't keep chasing someone who only opens the door halfway. Sophia edged closer, voice trembling. Then tell me how. Lily's voice frayed. Fight for me. That was the blade, the plea, the line in the sand. And she didn't retreat. She leaned in and kissed her. Not gentle this time. Not tender, desperate, fierce, like she knew exactly what was at stake and refused to lose it quietly. Lily yielded, hands fisting in Sophia's coat, letting herself fall for one more heartbeat, one more suspended second. When they separated, Lily whispered, "You get one more chance. Don't waste it." Sophia nodded, brow resting against hers. I won't. Lily wasn't sure she believed it, but for now, she was still in the doorway, still there. And that meant maybe, just maybe, it wasn't finished yet. Lily didn't believe in second chances. Life had cured her of that lesson. People didn't change. Promises slipped. Most apologies arrived too late, wrapped in guilt instead of truth. Yet somehow Sophia had breached that part of her. Not with spectacles, not with diamonds or trips or breathy "I'm sorry," but with something quieter. She kept showing up, day after day. Elle called every morning that week. Nothing dramatic, just her voice, still rough with sleep, asking how Lily slept, what she was drinking, when her shift began. And at night, when Lily came home, something waited at her door. A book she'd mentioned in passing, her favorite chocolate, a handwritten note once, folded small in an envelope with her name, that simply read, "You are never too much. I was just too afraid." Sophia didn't push to see her. Not right away. She gave Lily space time. But she didn't disappear again. And that more than anything began to soften the ache in Lily's chest. Friday night, Lily called her. Just one word. Come. Sophia didn't ask questions. 30 minutes later, she was there. No driver, no flashy car, just Elle in jeans and a dark sweater, hair in a messy bun, standing at Lily's doorway with hope in her eyes and her heart in her hands. Lily didn't speak. She stepped aside and let her in. The apartment was warm, dimly lit by a few candles. Music played low from her speaker. An indie playlist I had one center at 2 in the morning full of heartbreak and yearning and songs with lyrics too close to the bone. You've been quiet, Sophia said softly. Lily nodded. I needed to be. I know. They stood there in the tiny living room like the last time might still be echoing around the walls. Lily finally broke the silence. Do you want to know what scared me the most? Sophia stepped closer, not touching her. Yes. It wasn't seeing you with Harper. It wasn't the silence after. It was realizing I'd already fallen for you and that you still had the power to destroy me. Sophia's breath caught. Lily, let me finish. Lily's eyes burned, but she didn't look away. I told myself I wouldn't fall. I told myself not to get attached, but I did. And the truth is, I love you even when it hurts. Even when I hate that I do. I love you. Sophia's eyes Sophia'd instantly, tears building without permission. Say something, Lily whispered. Sophia crossed the space in a heartbeat. Her hands cooped Lily's face with a gentleness that made her ache. You're not alone in this. I love you, too. I've been trying not to say it because I thought I'd mess it up because I always do, but I do. I love you. Lily's body trembled. Every defense she'd built crashing in the face of that voice, that look. Then stay. Not just tonight. Not just when it's easy. I will. Don't promise unless you mean it. I've never meant anything more. Lily kissed her. It wasn't soft. It wasn't sweet. It was desperate. Full of every emotion she couldn't name, every fear she couldn't voice. Sophia kissed her back with equal intensity like they were both starving for something only the other could give. Their bodies moved without hesitation, peeling away layers of clothing and pain, finding each other in the shadows of a love that had almost broken before it bloomed. Lily pulled Lee onto the couch, tangled in limbs and whispers, hands gripping tight, gasps between kisses like confessions. Sophia's mouth brushed her ear. You make me feel like I'm someone worth loving. Lily gripped her harder. You are. They didn't sleep. Not really. They dozed between touches, between long stretches of silence where words weren't necessary. And sometime around 4 a.m., Lily traced her fingers over Sophia's bare shoulder and whispered, "What happens now?" Sophia didn't open her eyes, but her voice was steady. Now I show you that I'm not going anywhere. The next morning, Sophia made pancakes in a kitchen too small for her height. She wore one of Lily's oversized sweatshirts, sleeves falling past her hands, bare legs stretched across the tile. Lily watched her from the doorway, arms crossed, heart full in a way that scared her. "You look ridiculous," Lily said. Sophia grinned without turning. "You look like you want to kiss me again." "I always look like that." Sophia turned, leaning against the counter, spatula in hand. "Then do it." Lily walked over, slow, deliberate, kissed her like the world had stopped, and they were the only two people left in it. Later that day, Sophia pulled out her phone and set it on the table. "I want you to see something." "What?" Sophia opened her calendar app. It was filled with color-coded chaos. Meetings, events, trips, commitments Lily couldn't even fathom. But Elle tapped through them one by one. Canciopiad. Cleared. Deleted. Lily blinked. "What are you doing?" "Making space for you." "Elle, don't say I don't have time. Don't say I'm too busy. I'm done making excuses for not showing up." Lily stared at her, a mix of awe and fear pooling in her chest. "This is big. So is what I feel for you." And when Sophia reached across the table, sliding her hand over Avis, the tremble in her fingers said everything her voice couldn't. They were still figuring it out. Still fragile, still unsure of how to navigate two worlds so different they barely overlapped. But they were in it now, together. And that was more than Lily had ever believed she'd have. Lily hadn't planned to fall in love with someone like E.S. Worthington. No one ever did. You didn't plan for billionaires. You didn't plan for the way they disarmed you with private planes and late-night piano music and words that somehow sounded like vows without ever being promises. And you definitely didn't plan for how easily they could undo your entire life with a single kiss. But love didn't care about what Lily planned. Love showed up in texts from a wrong number. In glances across candlelight, in Hal said her name like it was a song, only she had the right to hum for a little while. Everything felt right, almost too right. They settled into a rhythm. Late nights at Lily's apartment, where Sophia would cook surprisingly terrible pasta, and Lily would pretend not to laugh. Lazy Sunday mornings wrapped in blankets and stolen kisses. Elle reading a manuscript Lily had written years ago and never shown anyone. And when they were at Sophia's penthouse, it felt less like a castle and more like a home. Sophia had started leaving small things behind in Lily's apartment. Her favorite perfume, a sweater that Lily swore she hadn't stolen, a pair of earrings in the bathroom drawer. And Lily had started to bring her own pieces into Sophia's world, too. A sketch taped to the fridge, Polaroids scattered across the marble countertops, books with dog-eared pages on Sophia's nightstand. It was real. It was tangible. But just when Lily started to believe this might actually work, reality came knocking hard. It started with a call. Sophia had gone quiet again. Not for long, just a few hours, but enough to send a familiar cold through Lily's spine. She waited, gave her space, told herself not to panic. Then finally, the phone rang. "Hi," Lily answered quickly. Sophia's voice was clipped. "We need to talk." 2 hours later, Lily sat across from Elle in a sleek corner office in a building that smsified too much like money and not enough like oxygen. Sophia's jaw was tight. Her phone buzzed on the desk like a ticking bomb. "I have to go to Singapore next week," she said. "For how long? A month?" Lily blinked. "A month?" Sophia nodded, avoiding her eyes. "It's unavoidable. There's a board crisis. My father's losing control of the Southeast Asia division and they want me to oversee the transition." "Okay," Lily said, forcing calm. "So, we FaceTime, we text, it's not that simple." "Why not?" "Because they want me to stay permanently." Lily froze. "What?" Sophia finally met her gaze. "If I don't take it, they'll force my father into retirement. I'm the only one with enough leverage to stabilize the company internationally. This isn't just a business move. It's political, familial, strategic." "And what about us?" Lily whispered. "I don't know." "You don't know?" Lily stood abruptly. "You told me you were making space for me, that you were done making excuses." "I meant it." "Then why does it feel like you're already gone?" Sophia stood too, face unreadable. "Do you think I want this? Do you think I want to leave you after everything? I think it's always going to be easier for you to choose the empire over me." Sophia flinched. "That's not fair." "No," Lily said, voice trembling. "What's not fair is that I fell for you completely. And now I'm standing in another one of your boardrooms wondering if I was ever anything more than a distraction." Elle's eyes darkened. Don't you dare call yourself that. Then prove it. Stay. Look torn. I can't. The silence that followed was louder than any argument. Lily's heart fractured like glass. Sharp. Instant. Final. She nodded slowly. Then I won't ask you to choose, because if you loved me the way I love you, there wouldn't be a choice. Lily, don't. She said, stepping back. Please don't say anything else. Sophia's voice cracked. I don't want to lose you. Lily gave her a broken smile. You already have. She left without looking back. Not because she wanted to, but because staying would have destroyed her. The following days moved like static. Lily functioned on autopilot, going to work, coming home, pretending the silence wasn't swallowing her. Sophia didn't call, didn't text, didn't chase her, and Lily didn't beg. She couldn't. Not again. Jenna found her on the floor of the bathroom on the third night, lights off, headphones in, playing the same song over and over. She didn't say anything, just sank down beside her and held her until Lily stopped shaking. I love her, Lily whispered. I know, Jenna said. But loving someone shouldn't make you feel like this. Lily quit the cafe the next morning. She couldn't do it anymore. Pouring coffee for strangers while her heart was in pieces. She started applying to photography grants again. Picked up a camera, looked at herself in the mirror, and didn't look away. Then 1 week later, a letter arrived. Hand-delivered. No return address, just her name. Inside, a plane ticket and a note. Handwritten. No signature. If there was a world where I could be yours without conditions, I would choose it every time. But I can't ask you to wait. I only ask you to look up at the stars once in a while. And know I'm doing the same. I love you always. Lily held the letter to her chest and let herself cry. Not because it ended, but because it had mattered. It had changed her. And no matter what came next, she would never forget the girl who showed up from a wrong number and taught her how to love like her heart wasn't made of glass. It had been 22 days since Lily last. Not that she was counting. Not that she kept track of every hour that passed without hearing her voice, or every night she woke up from dreams that still emulsified like Sophia's perfume. Lily was trying to rebuild, to breathe, to live a life that didn't orbit around a woman who had once told her, "You make me feel like someone worth loving." And then left. She photographed everything. Empty streets, strangers in subway cars, crumbling buildings with flowers growing through cracks. She poured herself into the lens because it was the only place she didn't have to explain how much she missed someone who had kissed her like she was home, then boarded a plane and vanished. The pain wasn't sharp anymore. It had dulled into a heavy, constant take, like an old injury that flared every time her phone buzzed. Hope was a cruel muscle, always twitching, but Lily never texted first. She wouldn't chase someone who'd said goodbye with a one-way ticket and a letter full of regret. Then came the gallery invitation. She almost deleted it, but decided to go. The email invited her to showcase her work. For the first time in weeks, she felt something other than grief. Opening night arrived fast. Lily wore black, simple, clean, safe. The small Brooklyn gallery buzzed with soft music and conversation. And there, on the wall, were her photos, her soul on display. People paused, whispered. Lily stood near the crowd, listening to their reactions, devastating in a beautiful way. Suddenly, she froze. Across the room, standing still beneath a soft spotlight, was Sophia. She was staring at a photo, Lily's self-portrait taken days after their breakup. No makeup, no smile, just Lily looking out the window, waiting for something that wasn't coming. Lily's breath caught. Sophia stepped closer as Lily moved towards her. They stood face to face for the first time in 22 days. "You're here," Lily whispered. "I never stopped being here," Sophia answered, eyes glossy. "I didn't know how to come back. I sent you the only truth I could give." Lily exhaled, "I never hated you." "Then say something else," Sophia said, her voice trembling. "Why are you here?" Lily asked. "Because I couldn't stay away," Sophia replied, stepping closer. "I saw the invite, booked a flight before I could talk myself out of it. And now? I want a second chance." Lily laughed bitterly. "You already had a second chance, and you left." "I know," Sophia said, stepping even closer. "But I'll spend the rest of my life earning a third. If you'll let me." "You can't just walk back in like nothing happened," Lily said, but Sophia replied. "I'm walking back in because everything happened." Silence stretched between them. Lily turned to the photo Sophia had been staring at. You broke me. I know, Sophia whispered. But you woke me up. I spent my life chasing power, but you showed me what really mattered. Your laugh, your heart, your coffee orders. Lily looked at her with tears in her eyes. I waited for you. I'm not asking you to wait anymore, Sophia said. I'm asking you to come with me. Lily turned slowly. Where? Sophia pulled out an envelope. The board offered me a choice: stay in Singapore or walk away. I resigned 2 days ago. You gave it all up? I didn't give anything up, Sophia said. I chose what matters. I chose you. Lily stared at her. And if I say no? Sophia's eyes filled with pain. Then I'll still come to every gallery. I'll still love you quietly from a distance until you forget how much it hurt. Lily's heart ached, but she whispered, You're unbelievable. Is that a yes? Lily didn't answer. She grabbed Sophia by the lapel of her coat and kissed her right there, in front of the crowd. Sophia kissed her back like it was the first time, like it was every moment they'd lost. Later, they lay together in Lily's bed, wrapped up in each other. No penthouse, no vineyard, just a modest mattress and an open window. I don't have much, Lily murmured. You have everything, Sophia replied. You have me. Lily wasn't accustomed to being chosen. She woke every night, half expecting the bed to be empty. But every time she opened her eyes, Sophia was there. They built a life together in a Brooklyn loft. Simple, quiet. No headlines. No press releases. Just the two of them. One evening, Sophia came to Lily with an idea. Move in with me. Lily chuckled softly. I don't have much. I don't care, Sophia said. Bring everything. Lily agreed. She moved in, bringing with her not just belongings, but all the pieces that had shaped her. She was nervous, but Sophia made space for her. They fought sometimes, but always found their way back to each other. After a while, Sophia received an offer to consult for a firm in Paris. What's stopping you? Lily asked. I can't leave you, Sophia answered. You don't need my permission to go, Lily replied. But I don't want to go if it means leaving you behind. Then don't, Lily whispered. Take me with you. And so they did. They moved to Paris in the fall. Lily brought her camera and her broken toaster. Sophia brought her entire heart. Together, they wandered the streets, drinking espresso, making love, and building a life away from the noise. One night, after Lily's gallery show, Sophia asked, Do you still think this started by accident? Lily smiled. No, I think I messaged the exact right number. A year later, in a quiet garden upstate, Lily knelt and asked Sophia to marry her. I don't need perfect. I just need you. Sophia said yes. The wedding was small, private. But their love, and the life they built together, was everything.